Oh man, that sun feels so good. Now we here in North Carolina didn't have it as bad as everybody else across the nation. It only got down to like 15, 13 in certain places. Now up toward the mountains, of course, it got 0 and below. But man, it feels so good. Oh, thank you, Lord. I am ready for springtime. Today's video is a maintenance issue and something that is messed up on one of my cars. And what is that? We'll get back to that in just a second. So you stay tuned. But boys and girls, that's why you take care of your vehicles right there. Woo! 191,000 miles. Holy moly. But that's why you maintain your vehicles. Now the video is about this vehicle right here, my Tahoe. And what is wrong with it, I was going, and if I can find it, I'll try to insert the video clip here. Look at that. But I was going across the bypass bridge up here they just built, and they haven't finished the access to go across it. It's a real rough bump, and I heard a metal on metal contact, and I was like, God, what in the heck is that? So I got to looking, and you know, like the intro I just showed you, I take care of my vehicles. There's a reason I take care of my vehicles, and it's because I make them last. I mean, come on, 190,000 miles in a Tahoe? That's unheard of for it to be in the kind of shape and look the way mine looks, right? Now that said, I took it to work, I put it up on the lift, and I checked it out. Checked all the ball joints, all the steering, all the tie rod ends, everything. Everything was good except for one thing. This right here. And what is this? I know, it's got a outer tie rod on it. I know, but it is not an outer tie rod. It is actually a sway bar end link that is in that box. And I'll get the Tahoe jacked up, and I'll show you exactly what's going on with it, and we'll go from there. Alright, now that you've seen that beautiful little montage of me doing everything correctly and safely, yes, I could have done this at work, but I wanted to do it in conditions like you would be doing it in, so you can see how easy it actually is. Now, let me show you what we've got. Like I said in that little video clip, I was going over a hump and you could hear it, bam! And I was like, God, what was that? So I took it to work and checked it out. And here's what it is. If you look under here, let me get this turned around so you can hear me correctly. If you look under here, you know, this is your area where all your essential suspension stuff is, and if you go right over here, this is your sway bar. Right here is your sway bar end link, and as you can see, the bushings on the top are mashed and busted and falling apart, and there actually is none on the bottom down here. That one's pretty much gone, but this is what we're going to replace. You see, that one is gone right there. So while we're under here, we want to look at the brakes. We want to check our brakes, and I'm down to about 30% on the brakes, and I'll check the backside while I'm in here and all that good stuff. But this is what a brand new one should look like. See how you have a bushing on the top. This will go on top of the sway bar. This will be underneath it. In other words, this is that, and this is what that was supposed to be. So that's why we're changing. That's why we're getting that metal to metal sound whenever we go over bumps a certain way. But while we're under here, we want to check our shock absorbers, make sure there's no liquid or fluids or anything falling down. You want to check the bushings, where all that stuff goes. You want to check your ball joints. Yeah, they're a little greasy from keeping them greased over the years, but the boot's not busted, as you can see. You know, you want to just give everything a good once over. Lower control arm bushings are good on both sides. Upper control arm bushings are good on both sides, which those things rarely ever go bad. But you know, while you're under here, just give everything a visual inspection. All my studs for the lug nuts look good. There's no lip on my rotors. There's no ridges or dugout areas on the rotors. You don't hear a lot of, you don't see a lot of heat burn or hot spot where it would have got hot, discolored areas. You don't see a lot of, none of that going on, so everything looks good. And this is what I mean by maintaining your vehicle. You check stuff on a regular basis. Like, I wouldn't check this for another month or two. Some people don't check, they wait for the brakes to start squealing, and then they come in and all of a sudden they got to replace the rotors and the brakes. Well, look, my rotors are good. There's no lip, there's no gouges, there's no nothing. But the brake pads are down to 30%, so I know within the next couple months I need to change the brakes, and I will. I'll do a video on that. And it's not that hard, couple bolts, you know, pop them out, put new ones in. But that's what it's all about. So let's get to this, and I'll walk you through it. Got the old man specs on, yay! Now all you're going to need is something that's very, very simple, outside of something to get your tire and your wheel off, is a ratchet of your choice or wrench, depending on what you have. In this case, I'm using a 3/8 drive ratchet and a 15mm deep well socket. You don't have to have a deep well, you can have a short on the bolt side. On the nut side, it's going to be protruding so much at the top to where you won't be able to get a short socket on it. So you either need a wrench for that side or a deep well. But with that said, 15-inch fits the top, the lower, and in this case it fits the old. So let's get in here and take this off. Like I said, all you need is a wrench. In this case I'm using a 15 ratcheting wrench. Right? Stick it on there and turn it. As you can see, the whole thing's going to want to turn. So that's why you need something on the other side. So let me get in here and see if I can hold this while doing it. At work I'd use the impact and everything, but I'm not at work. So we put the 15 on the bottom, 15 on top, and then break it loose. And then you just sit here and back it all the way off. Let me explain something real quick. If the tires were still on it and it was on the ground, you wouldn't want to try to unhook both sides at the same time, because what's going to happen is this is going to want to roll up on you by doing both sides, okay? But by doing one side at a time, this will pretty much stay where it needs to be. You might have a little bit of trouble getting it in, we'll see. I don't think you will. We'll find out in just a second, but one side at a time and you'll be good to go. My wife always gets on me about buying new tools, and I just bought these ratcheting wrenches, and look at them already helping out. Now, here's a little tip. Before you start, take a little, now see, this isn't rusty, but it's dry and it's got grime and stuff on it from road use. Takes your favorite lubricated oil. In this case I'm using WD-40, but I have PB Blaster and all that stuff, and just give it a quick spray. Let it sit for a couple seconds before you start, and it'll be a lot easier to get off. Or if you get to a point where you get stuck, or it's a little tighter than what you want, then squirt it on there, just like I just did. I did it till I got a little snug, and then I said, well, let me put some oil on. Why ain't I put oil on it so far? And then it makes your life a lot easier. And then that's fixing to come off of it now. And you want to pay attention to how it comes out, because that's how it's going to go back together. There's the old one, or the old cap. As you can see, the plastic protective piece is still stuck to it. Now the top bushing doesn't look that bad. It's rounded and worn and everything, you can see it, but it's really not that bad. Now we gotta get the bottom to come through. Now, this being original, guess what? It's stuck. So we're gonna have to get a persuader. I may not be able to get to it from the top, which I didn't think I would. So I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver and try to get to it from the bottom. Okay, as you can see, we now have it out. And there's a metal shaft in here that I'll show you in just a second. And it was rusted on, so it took a little bit of doing with the hammer to get it out, but I got it. But the nut will be on top, just like it came off. Then you have the first bushing. Then you have the second bushing, which goes on the bottom, right? This goes in the middle. Okay. So we got that, and we got the bottom one, then we have the shaft. And I keep dropping everything. And then I'll leave you with this, okay? Same deal, this goes on top, this goes on bottom. So we don't need to take this off. All we gotta do is thread it up through, put the new bushing on there like it came off, slide the shaft down on it, and then get the bushing that just dropped. Goes on top of it like so. Now in some cases, like I said, if depending on the model that you work on and everything, things will move around and not cooperate. As you can see, it's a little tight right here. I could force it down and get it in there, but rather than do that, I'm gonna take something and wedge up on the sway bar and get it to go. Get the sway bar up a little bit. Take something, and what I did was I took my hammer, put it right here, and prized up on the sway bar, and I got it up high enough to get it in there without too much difficulty. I'm going to take the next bushing that goes on top, slide it down, and now we just got to tap the bolt the rest of the way up. Push up on the bottom, start the nut, get it turning about 4 or 5 good threads, and you're ready to tighten it down. Then it's just the reverse of the way you put it on. And don't be scared, because this will not require a front end alignment. And all you do is you just tighten it down until it won't tighten down anymore, and you're good to go. Nothing like a job well done yourself, right? Rather than paying somebody to do it. But that's how you do it. That's all there is to it. Put it back together and you're done. Now I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do the other side, because it is exactly the same as this side. It's just that everything, rather than being on the right side of the wheel, now it's on the left side of the wheel. But it's very simple to do, very easy. No sense in going and paying somebody $300 at a shop to do it when you can do it yourself. That's the main thing about this, is doing it yourself. As you said, it's very simple. If it was something hard, I wouldn't tell you to do it yourself. I really wouldn't. I would do a video about it, but I would say this is not for the average homeowner, the average weekend warrior. This is something for a professional. But this anybody can do. It just takes basic tools and a jack. That's all it really takes. Now, while I was under there, as you saw, I broke out the grease gun, and any fitting that I had that could be greased, I cleaned it off real good, and I greased it, and then I wiped the excess grease off. That way, new dirt and stuff wouldn't stick to it. So while you're in there, preventative maintenance, right? That's what I always try to preach. When you're in somewhere doing one thing, check everything else. That way you know if it needs to be done or not. Now, with all that mumbling said and all that useless information you probably don't care about, I'd like to say thank again each and every one of you for stopping by. You get out there and enjoy your cars. Until next time, we'll see you. Take care.